All right. Hello, everyone. We are live, and I do have Rant Jamz with me already. We have connected, we've checked microphones, and we're ready to do some real talk. So welcome to my guest. Let's see who's in the chat already. We have In Awe of Donna Shaw. Your mom is here. For those of you who do not know, Rant Jamz, and his mother also has a channel, In Awe of Donna Shaw. Rant Jamz is also connected with another YouTuber called Lol's Girl, and she may also be in the chat if I get through here. We have Methodical Madness. Hello, thank you for coming. Jess K, a future guest for my show. You guys should check out her channel. I look forward to getting to know her. And we have Patsy Houlihan waiting, and so is my toilet.
Exactly. You got some great people that show up for, because I was watching this last time, and you have a really awesome audience that comes in. And sometimes it's not just the number of people that are watching your streams, it's the quality of the people that are watching your streams that matter. And this is something I've talked about on my channel quite a bit, but the people that you draw says something about your channel. And this is an awesome group of people here. And it's a great place to have a good discussion. And I want to thank everybody for showing up. And those of you guys that use Twitter, when you guys share this stream, which you guys go ahead and share the stream, make sure you tag your friends and bring them in as well. So because you don't just hit the share button, but you hit at all of your friends, and then that helps alert them that the stream is actually happening as well.
Well, I appreciate that. Rant Jamz is an experienced live streamer, and I am not. So I appreciate him filling you guys in on that. I see a few more people. I have A32629816. Hello, you are new to my channel. And Alien is here, and Gemma's Journey. Hello, Gemma. Sweet Gemma is always here. I can always count on her. And Law's Girl has showed. Hello, Megan. How are you? Listening quietly next. Oh, she's with you in the room. Cool. Okay. Miss Kathy draws quality. Thank you for saying that. Quality is very important to me versus quantity. And I do have a really good group of supporters that I really do love. So we have Cooking with Chris the Butcher and Friends. You are new to my channel. I have no friends. Yes, you do. I am your new friend. And Patsy is twitting now. Thank you, Patsy. Jess K, I am good at Anna's Kitchen. How are you? Yes, please. One thing that I do want to put out is I don't have moderators. I kind of have been adding them this week as I've come along because I am a new live streamer. So I'm going to try to moderate the chat as best I can, but I do want you all to mingle. I do want you to all feel welcome in my home, and just be polite is all I ask. And I'm going to welcome positive dialogue. So if you do have questions for Rant Jamz, I want you to make sure you put them in the chat, but do try to use that @ sign and tag me so that I can see it. I also want to point out that I can't see very well. So if I do try to get up and read the chat, you're going to be looking at my nose because I have progressive lenses, so I got to read like this. so Rant Jamz, if you're reading the chat too, make sure you guys tag @ Rant Jamz so he can see your questions as well. So Scott, can you at least first tell me, how long have you been on YouTube?
All right, so this is a very interesting question. I've actually have been on YouTube since it began, but I haven't been active on YouTube. And I wasn't active. I basically had a channel that I uploaded a video for fun, just for me and my friends to watch and family, and then I didn't really do much on it until about a year ago. And when I actually branded my channel as Rant Jamz. So I've really only been at Rant Jamz. I've only been doing this for a year total, but in all actuality. But I have been on YouTube since it began, more or less.
When did YouTube begin? I don't even know.
Oh boy, it's like 2007 or 8, or I mean, it was way back there.
Oh wow.
We made videos and stuff. Things have changed so much on YouTube for the past, not just the past year, but since it began. And the rules keep changing. And as you guys know, if you guys have been here for a year, you've noticed that the whole landscape of live streaming and everything has transformed this whole thing. And that there's just a whole nother set of rules. And there's no doubt about it that we definitely influenced each other. And things are going to get a little different. And eventually, And despite what people may think, content's going to be back in the center, where content's going to matter more and more and more, because I don't want to go off on too much on a rant, but it's going to require.
Wait, Rant Jamz does not want to go off on a rant? Come on.
Yeah, but content's going
I'll try to keep you calm, okay?
Content's going to matter again, because every single channel can launch a stream that says, get as many subscribers as you can. Everybody hit each other, right? It doesn't require any kind of skills or talent to do this, which means that anybody could launch a shout out stream. And what's going to happen is eventually, since that's perfect competition, everybody's doing it, the content side's actually going to be more of the emphasis. It's going to differentiate you from another channel and all that other stuff. It's kind of like the Fortnite thing, which much love to all Fortnite channels. But you have to, but if you're a Fortnite channel, you better do something different on your Fortnite channel than what another channel does. And inevitably, there's an inevitability to where the content's going to be at the center again, because YouTube isn't really Facebook. As much as most people want to think that this is reality TV and it's Facebook, it's not quite. This is still entertainment. Google hasn't made the turn all the way yet, and until it's turned into Facebook all the way, people are going to be doing entertainment on here, and that's just part of it.
Yeah, that's good. I can tell that you've done a lot of research. I have not on that per se. So I'm not really a YouTube watcher. I am more of a YouTube interactor, is what I kind of deem myself as. So yeah. The live streams have been fascinating for me because it's new to me this year. You're right, though. It seems like a trend. I don't see it lasting long.
No, and there's a good chance, and this is something I've said on my channel, but people typically, when I rant, this is why I'm Rant Jamz, because when I rant and I just tell people what's up, they don't get it. But as soon as I start putting it into a song and turning it into satire, they're like, oh, right. I've been telling people explicitly for a long time what the situation is, but now they get it on some levels. But here's one other thing that I've been telling people is that YouTube can change the rules at any given time. And more than likely, when their YouTube changes the rules again, it's going to benefit Rant Jamz, right? Because Rant Jamz is a content guy. So more than likely, let's say, for example, this is a rule that could change, Kath, and I think it will change within a couple of years or 6 months to a year. I think YouTube will probably shrink the number of people you can be subscribed to, right? I think it's going to happen. It's inevitable. It happens on many other mediums, like all the other social medias you can imagine that aren't Facebook. They shrink the number of people you could be subscribed to. Now, right now it's 5,000. Well, imagine if they shrink the number of people you can be subscribed to 500. What happens to all the sub for sub channels?
Yeah, I didn't even know there was a limit to how many people you could be subscribed to.
Right, and a lot of people aren't thinking ahead. Rant Jamz thinks ahead. So let's say that YouTube goes, you can only be subscribed to 500 people. What happens to all these other channels that are pure sub for sub, right? Well,
yeah, I mean, I think I'm subscribed to about 136, so I can't even imagine being subscribed to more than that.
Right.
I really try hard to pay attention to the people I'm
Overnight, it would completely transform the landscape, and people's strategies would completely change just because YouTube changed one rule. And that's what people need to realize, is that most of these rules that they could change, for example, they can limit the number of hours that you can live stream. They could do that at any given time. Who does that benefit? Rant Jamz. If they limit the number of people you can be subscribed to, who does that benefit? Rant Jamz.
Why does that benefit
that has to do with content benefits Rant Jamz, and everything, because it's just a matter of time, because YouTube and Google are not, Mark Van Jones says this, they're not the United States of America. They have the ability to change the rules on you at any given time to whatever they want. And if you're not able to change what you're doing or adapt what you're doing to their changing rules, then you're left out in the dark. And that's one thing that's I'm thinking way ahead of the game. I believe that real interaction, I got a really nasty glare, by the way. I believe that real interaction and content ultimately is going to win the day, and all the other BS stuff is a fad. I really do.
Yeah, that's true. I'm a rule breaker. I honestly, I don't follow rules. I do try to just do everything. I don't know what word I'm looking for. I try not to do anything that would cause harm. I try not to do anything like the whole copyright rule. Like I would never intentionally do something illegal. That's there to go. I do everything I think of that is legal. But as far as rules, I always say they were meant to be challenged. They're meant to be, you know, broken until somebody tells you you're doing something wrong.
Right. And like I said, the just to let everybody know, for channel building purposes, and we'll move on to something else because that's kind of boring. But for channel building purposes, I highly recommend that you build your channel around content and not around simple rumors.
So what is your content? Because I got to tell you, you went on a little rant. Oh, maybe it's been a couple months now. I kind of quit listening, Rant Jamz, because you were doing this whole drama sales thing. And I personally was thinking to myself, no, it ain't working too good for him. So I challenged you on Twitter, and I'm like, why do you care about other people's business? Because you've got such great talent. Remember when I told you that?
Oh yeah, exactly. And
so I want to know what's selling for you now. What is your change? What is your content? What are you going to do? Because I loved your content before you went on your whole rant about drama. You were really doing so great at promoting other musicians and bringing people in and encouraging them on their stuff. Are you going to go back to that? Or are you doing a different thing now?
I can briefly explain the situation there, what's happened. This goes before the drama. So before people, you know, started interacting with me and strategically trying to do things like take my channel down and stuff, which is if you get big enough as a YouTuber, that's going to happen, right? So one way, so you better learn how to deal with it the right way. So I'm not taking the high ground there. All right. But before, and a lot of people do it, and they do it, and then in public they pretend they're not, and that's really irritating as a YouTuber because you want the truth to be told, but nobody's going to listen publicly because you're the only one that's saying it, and all the other people are denying it and not naming names, right? So that's
that's stuff like people didn't really care. I don't think that they. I just don't think people care. Not the general.
I'm going to go ahead and go before it. So before all of that, I was doing. I started working at Walmart, and that really crunching my time, like 35, 40 hours a week. And I was also streaming. I had to move my streams down to 3 days a week, 2 or 3 hours at a time. Now, when I live stream. Well, at least when I did, and even now, I don't just hit the live button, stream, and then go off to do my merry business. There's usually hours and hours and hours of preparation of me actually making real stuff and changing things to make every stream dynamic and different. A lot of the shows that are put on Rant Jamz are real shows.
Yeah, that was impressive.
Live and I'm bored.
That's all.
It's not just that, and to keep that in mind that was a real time crunch. Well, in one of the shows. I was doing satire on something, and I was surprisingly attacked while I was at work, and not just somebody came on live and said something. No, they reported to YouTube and tried to take my channel down, and these were people that I thought were my friends. Okay, and I was very, very, very surprised about this, and but their position was something like, we're not going to name names. And everybody just stay quiet about it. But Rant Jamz can't stay quiet about it because he lost the ability to live stream. How could he stay quiet about it when he legitly action was taken to legitly stop me from doing?
Yeah, it was an identity thing.
So that was the stop. It wasn't that Rant Jamz decided to just go off on people and start crap because he was bored. No, it's because he was put in a position to where I was like, I am in a position where I've got nothing to lose but to tell people what really happened, because I can't even stream because this person or these entities actually took action on me in advance before we could ever work anything out.
Right.
So that's really how it started. Now, the question that's more important for you is, well, where do we go? Well, during that time period, I discovered, and some people agree and disagree, that I was able to do more than just, because I was putting on real shows and showcasing, and people were making videos about Rant Jamz, but put on real collaboration shows in which the show that I put on is really a collaboration effort of 20 or 30 people. All right, and that's what these drama streams. They're not really me just going talking trash, although I did do those streams. These were the streams where like the Drama Wars, Drama Storm, Dramaween. These were comedy streams in which everybody contributed videos and we worked together to make something kind of fun. And the reason why they were labeled drama is because there was a stream, and I'm not going to name names, but there was a stream in which there was a discussion about being a no drama community. All right. And I was really, and all of a sudden, I got the light bulb in my head. And I went into that stream. I'm like, you know what? Rant Jamz wants to be part of that discussion. I was in the heat of it at the time, but I really wanted to work this out in the session because I realized, the light bulb came on. I realized that there's no such thing as a no drama anything. Like if you were alone in the woods by yourself.
Right. I get that. I mean, I get that there is no drama. I mean,
right. There's wars going on inside your body.
What I want you to move past though, as a creator, is to, what I'm hoping, and I think you are, is to not focus on the fact that there is no drama or there is drama. I think
I made the point.
Not drama. Our world is drama. I get it. You've said it many times, and I agree with you. Our world is drama. We live in drama. I have so much drama all the time because I'm a mom of 4 children.
If you're no drama, you hate children. It's 100% the case.
It's not the word drama. It's the word of toxic, negative, bullying, attacking. That's the things that I sort of saw you doing that was turning me off to you as a creator, as a person. And so that's why I went to you personally and said,
well, there's
come on, give me some impressive content to watch here,
Well, I did make the case. I will tell you that at first, because what was happening is it was a one-way shellacking privately, and Rant Jamz was the only one that was coming out publicly. So it made me look like the bad guy 100% of the time. But privately, there was a lot going on. People were taken off to the side, telling them to not just ban and unsubscribe, but also to stop donating. People were taking my mother off to the side and saying, "You took our donors." Bad mom, right? They were doing all kinds of stuff like that. And the thing is, it may not have been right to go public with some of this, but I will say that it's not like I said, when Rant Jamz comes out and he brings things public, there's for good reason. And I decided over time, and I think that it worked out, because I made my case. I don't have to go back and tell people all of that again in this.
Yeah. I'm glad you got past it, and I'm glad you moved on. Yeah. I did just sort of meet you during that time, but it was like the Kardashians on YouTube. I was like, well, who is this family? My goodness, they're all entwined. And then I finally realized you were all related, and I was like, okay, I'm starting.
My best content was inspired by the worst of times, and this is actually the truth about almost all artists and a lot of people that you come across is when you face adversity. This is a psychological thing. When you face adversity, it causes you anxiety, it causes you stress. But when you are stressed out, you have an opportunity to get better at what
Sure, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Exactly.
And some of these shows that I have done, and maybe not in the last few months because I've been really busy, but some of these shows I did early on in this saga were some of the best content I had ever produced, period. Because it wasn't just me necessarily, and it was very, very intriguing. And I got to tell you, my numbers were up for all the way up until it got personal, because it wasn't personal until close to Christmas time. That's when it got personal.
And and that's when YouTube became a business for you, but then you brought your personal life into your business, and I think that's where you went sour.
Yeah, and there's no doubt about it that as long as it's a friendly or even a bit of a spat about content and disagreements on ideas, it's fine. But as soon as it becomes I'm going to personally attack your family, your mother, and all that, and Rant Jamz never did that. As nasty as people think Rant Jamz are, he didn't do that. These other people did. But since they go out and they tell their people that it's no drama, and they go out and they attack me and my family all personally, then all those people seem to believe that. But Rant Jamz comes out and he tells you directly. So I always look like the bad guy, but honestly, they're at this point in what I'm doing in my show, the turn I'm fixing to take, those people are kind of irrelevant. at
I
this
mean,
point.
the train wrecks get views. Don't get me wrong. I mean, even when you're on a traffic jam, everybody has to slow down and look at the wreck, you know?
Yeah, but I'm not out to wreck people or
Right.
anything like that. I was out to clarify a few issues. And some of these issues that were bigger, and like I said, I've kind of explained the drama thing. If you have no drama on your channel, if you choose to be a no drama channel, expect to get no views. I mean, not necessarily bashing people, but you got to have something entertaining going on in your channel. It doesn't necessarily have to be a train wreck, but you got to.
I think that just really only pertains to live streaming.
It pertains to your videos too. If you post a vlog, let's say you have a vlog channel, right? And all of your vlogs are the same. And because you don't want drama. You want everybody to know that when you go vlogging, every video is going to be exactly the same, more or less. It's, you know, this is.
Oh yeah, I mean, you either got to go on trips, or you have to jump in front of the camera, or you have to be high energy.
You don't have to go that way, but you have to have. See, another word for drama, if we take the drama word out, is you got to have like change.
Action.
You got to surprise people with something that they don't know is going to happen.
Surprise.
You have to do that a little bit. If you don't do that a little bit, then well, maybe people see you as the most consistent person ever, but they're going to forget that you exist overall. Not your friends, but on YouTube, you're just going to get buried in the millions of other videos that are floating around.
Yeah, and I think it's the comments, the commenters and the supporters that interact with you that brings you the views. Because if you're getting them something to talk about, it can be positive or negative, it doesn't matter. But if your supporters are talking about you to their friends and then their friends, and so that's what's going to bring them in.
We can go from thing to thing to thing. Like some like I said, I've had some hit and misses, and I've learned a lot from them. But there are some things that I felt were very positive. As much as I was being portrayed the bad guy, I felt were very successful. Like the community buying me a Traverse satire thing. I thought that was a very successful joke. A lot of people take it personally as like Rant Jamz is the bad guy. But this is the kind of thing you see on Saturday Night Live. This is not that kind of thing is not the kind of thing in which it's about personally attacking. It's the kind of thing that you see on British TV. It's the kind of thing you see on Saturday Night Live. It's not for everybody. Not everybody likes that kind of humor, but most people do. Actually, most people do like that kind of humor.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily stale. Now, there are other things I've done that were like that as well. But I have to say that given my circumstances, which I'm going to explain to everybody real quick what my circumstances are, making a purely showcase stream is not the way to go. I'm going to explain to you why that is. Because a year ago, Rant Jamz is basically the only person doing it. I was kind of like, you know, other than this, there was one other channel that inspired Rant Jamz, did a little bit, and it was a younger kid, and he had a television screen behind him. His channel got taken down, and more or less on the landscape of YouTube, I hate to say this, but I actually love saying this because this is actually a fact. More or less, Rant Jamz was the only person doing that kind of thing on YouTube, period. So all the other channels that you guys go to, the ones that claim they hate Rant Jamz and everything, that are doing the same thing that Rant Jamz was doing a year ago, they actually are honoring me. They're showing me lots of love. And I have no hate towards them because they're furthering the cause. I don't mind them furthering the cause, right? Now, they may not be aware of that, but imitation is flattery, right? Is it not? Right?
Oh, yeah.
That's how I take it. So I don't have any ill feelings towards any of them. It's just that the landscape has changed. So now, like, the situation is there's going to be dozens of showcase or shout outs. Like, there's a difference between shout out and showcase, by the way. But well, for funsies, we'll call them shout outs, right? There's going to be dozens of those. There's going to be channel preview YouTube preview channels all over the place. Eventually, there's going to be more of those than Fortnite channels.
I think that's just happening because everybody wants to be a YouTuber right now, and they stop them on it. That's gonna die out soon.
It will die out, but in the time between the next 6 months to a year, that's going to explode. Now, the difference between what Rant Jamz has done and what these other showcase channels are doing, and just to show you a little differentiation, is that I wasn't just doing shout outs. I wasn't just going, look at this channel. I was doing collaboration efforts. People were working together to make videos.
I think that was fantastic. That's
a whole different thing than just going, go subscribe to this person, go subscribe to that person. And I'll tell you, I honestly felt a little bit, a little hurt that a lot of people didn't value that whatsoever, that they were so stuck on the numbers that they were like, well, how many subscribers can I get? And they absolutely had no value in the content, a large percentage. But then, once I thought about this, I go, you know what? What really actually matters is if you have 30 people, 40 people in your stream, like Rant Jamz, typically does when he's got his shit together, or maybe 50. And the vast majority of people there really care about the people that are there and are making videos, collaborating, doing major projects, making some of the best content anybody's ever seen. Yeah. There's no substitute for that. Nobody's going to just launch a channel and copy that. Because that's not copyable. That's not really It takes a lot of hard work.
You were so good at that, though. But now with you having a baby now and having to work more, I mean, are you going to be able to get back to that?
Yeah. I can answer this part here. I've been doing a series of renovations on my channels, and I've been working on some things. Lols has been upgrading her channel. There's going to be a big announcement on what she's doing. Are
you going to do that here, or is that going to be later?
We'll look later. I want to get her a chance to. It takes a lot of work what she does, and to get her a chance to kind of show everybody what she's doing. But it's going to be very
excited. That's cool.
It's going to be a very good thing for everybody in the community, and it's going to add a little extra of a benefit, an additional bonus of being a part of this community. It's going to be really nice. And but what I've had to do, and this is what I recommend people do. People have to do what I say or whatever, but what I recommend people to do, and I believe Miss Kathy's already there, is find out who your core is. Find out the people that you really want to watch. You don't have to be subscribed to everybody. As a matter of fact, if you're subscribed to everybody all the time, it actually messes you up, because you can't, just like we talked about this a little bit before, but if you multitask and you add task to task to task to task, the more that you add, the worse you get at each task. And the same thing is true about the people you're subscribed to. So if you're subscribed to 1 billion people, how are you going to follow 1 billion people? You ain't going to happen.
Oh yeah, I mean, I can attest to that. I've been doing that for years now. Down the rabbit hole travel. I'm just going to read real quick in the chat what she said. She read somewhere, and it really stuck with her. You are not entitled to do anything. No one owes you anything. So you gotta work for that. You gotta respect those views. I was like, yeah, I get you. She had a little typo in there, and I'm like I said, I'm having trouble reading from this far away. So, but that's very good. Yeah, Marty is right on with that.
There are people in this community that make the claim, and it's bogus, that Rant Jamz hasn't earned, or my mother hasn't earned, what we've gotten on here. And I'm gonna go ahead and tell everybody how I feel about that. All right.
Repeat it again what you said. I don't think I followed you.
Okay. There's a lot of people that make the claim, and a lot of them are, they're at odds with me at the time, but there's a lot of people that make the claim. There was a few in the live chat that have made the claim in the past that say, well, Rant Jamz, you didn't earn a car. You didn't earn, your mother doesn't earn what she does on her channel. You don't earn your donations. Why don't you go get a real job? Right?
You can bring that on yourself by putting that in the title, but who cares?
But the reality of it is that that does hit me a little bit, because I do feel like it's better to earn it. I would rather earn it than to win it. But I guarantee you that Rant Jamz has earned it. He has earned it. He put, like I said, he put 80 hours a week into his channel for a good 6 to 7 months straight, earning it. So everything he's gotten on here, all right, like you guys, well, he doesn't have 500 people on his stream, man.
Yeah, but come on, that's silly. That's childish. You shouldn't even let that go in one ear and out the other.
But I have earned.
Of course, you earned your vehicle that you have. Of
right.
course.
I have earned everything on here. I've done it through hard work. So if somebody goes, oh, well, you haven't earned it. And my mother, she works incredibly hard. She plays for the veterans. She plays for she plays at churches. She helps out the elderly. She does all kinds of things, and she does it all around the clock.
That is all.
Donates to her ministry. She has earned it. She has earned it. All right.
Yeah.
And I do. That is somewhat offensive. But I'm over that. I think that the people who really legitly are as for real as you can get on YouTube, which is a stretch, but as for real as you can get on YouTube, really understand that the amount of hard work that we have done and the time that we put into it, I mean, if you did the calculations, it's less than $1 an hour for sure. For sure. And if you don't think Rant Jamz is worth a freaking less than $1 an hour, then I don't have any respect for your opinion on that matter. You're gonna have to prove it to me, right? But honestly, if people are paying me $1 an hour, I'm at least worth $1 an hour. So they need to get over that.
You're worth more than that, and you know it.
You know, but honestly, same thing with the Real Talking Kathy. She's going to have her super chat on here very, very quickly. I mean, she's getting all kinds of good traffic here. If people donate to Miss Kathy, she's earned it.
Oh yeah, I'll accept any donations. A326, you got to change your channel name. I'm just saying. Miss Kathy, have a Q&A portion of the show. Yes, any questions that you have, please tag me so that I can see them if they pop up. If you have any questions, I did state that earlier. I will state that again now. If you guys have any questions for Rant Jamz, please put them in the chat and we will be sure and cover them.
Yeah, I will answer any questions. And like I said, if you want to get me off a rant, just ask me a question left field and I'll just go in a whole nother direction. I'm really good at that. Like, because you go, well, what do you feel about politics? And I'll be like, go there. You know, what do you feel about that? I don't mind doing that. Like, honestly, I have spent a lot of time studying all kinds of different disciplines in college. I was in college for a really long time, and I have like a double major and 4 minors. And
oh wow! Tell me what are your double majors?
I have like a double major in sociology, political science with minors in like history.
That makes a lot of sense. I can totally see that in you.
Education, and then at the graduate level, I have. Basically, I am a unlicensed psychologist, more or less. I did everything but the licensure part. More or less, I've got a pretty expanded background on a lot in economics as well. There's so many different areas in which I've got an expanded background on. So it's okay. We can talk about other issues. It's totally cool. It doesn't all have to be about what Rant Jamz' dramas junk. It could be about whatever.
Oh, well, let's please, because that gets so old for me anyway. Honestly, Rant Jamz and I originally were going to talk about the pros and cons of community because I know that you have passion for communities when you're involved in them.
I want to respond to Jimmy's Journey Grace, and the reason why is because I know this is not this is not necessarily the best thing to say, but I'm going to go ahead and say it. Jimmy's Journey and Grace makes the claim that she's the same in every stream, and that's just not the case. She was in another stream saying that I unmodded her because she has autism. I did not hack her. She absolutely lied about that, and now she's on the stream saying that that I don't support people with disabilities. Lowell's girl has a kid with autism. I've worked in an autism. You guys need to know my background outside of YouTube. I have worked with autistic kids for like 2 years straight.
Right. Well, miscommunication can happen in chatting.
I've never, ever picked out somebody simply because of autism. So whoever put that into your head, and the thing is, I treat you like a real person. I don't treat you like somebody with a disability. Whoever put that in your head, I recommend going back to them and asking them, are they really my friends? Because they're probably not. They're probably using you. I'm just like,
yeah, I do encourage everyone to always go to the source. I've so many times had miscommunications with online friends, and it's mainly because we are online and we do have to text a lot, but all things happen and get miscommunicated when we are texting. Hi, Dad. I'm on a live stream right now. She is. Go find her in her room, I think. That's live.
And again, like, I don't want to hash it all out.
Let me tell you, Gemma right now, and I try to mentor that with Gemma personally, but everyone that I encounter with, Joker, I don't know if Joker's still in the chat. Joker and I get so flustered with one another when we're texting, and I tell him all the time, you got to call me. I can't do this over a text. I can't do this over a chat.
Exactly.
And it gets so miscommunicated of what the person is trying to say or how they feel. Mostly every human being cares, and they are passionate, and they are compassionate with one another. We were made that way. We were all made to be compassionate to one another. And usually if you can voice to voice or face to face with the source, you will work it out.
Exactly. I just want you to know, like I said, Gemma, Angel Munez, etc. I don't, and this might be a bit controversial, and you may not like me for this, and you guys have the right to unsubscribe or whatever, but I never, ever look at you as a disabled person, nor will I ever look at you as a disabled person. I look at you guys as individuals. And it's just like if I had a broken leg, right? Let's say Rant Jamz had a broken leg. Should I rename my channel Rant Jamz, the guy with a broken leg, right? No, I'm not going to rename my channel. I'm not going to be defined by a condition ever. And a lot of people disagree with me on this. It's okay, but this is an opinion here. I feel like each person is different. Every autistic person I have met has been different. So there's no reason to define yourself as autistic when every person I've met have had different mental capacities, have been smart in many different areas. So I am not even going to once even consider that you're autistic. I'm going to treat you like a real person. And if you don't have anybody around you that are treating you like real people, let Rant Jamz be the first. Trust me, it'll help you because you guys are very empowered and very capable of doing whatever you want on this platform, should you put your mind to it.
Yeah. I did see a question fly by, something about young people. How do you feel is your influence on young, let me go back to it. How does Rant Jamz think about his influence on young people? You're going to hit that a lot as a YouTuber because the younger generation is the ones who are on YouTube. So anything you do on YouTube is going to influence a young person. But right. I'll let you answer that.
Well, there's lots of questions. Now, it depends on if I answer the question and you're like, that's not what I'm getting at, we're going to have to come back and ask me another question. But I kind of feel like a person that's on YouTube that is got a strong personality, that is making fun content and is putting a lot of hard work into what they're doing, is a good influence on YouTube. I think that if, like you're talking about personal attacks and stuff like that, I don't think that's necessarily a good influence. But I have to tell you, as nasty as I've gotten, I have very, very rarely done personal attacks, period, on my side of it. I believe all discussions and opinions on a content level is all fair game because when you post a video on YouTube, right, you're asking the world to critique it. You're asking the world to take a look at it and discuss it. That's what the comment section is for. That's all fair game. And honestly, on that side of it, I believe I'm being a strong influence on children and teaching them not to be wimps, right? But to be able to stand up for themselves. And if you want your children to be wimps, go ahead. But I think Rant Jamz, he's got a strong personality, and we can get into the politics and the Donald Trump stuff and everything. And a lot of people hate him for good reason.
That's okay. I don't really know a lot about politics personally.
He's got a strong personality.
We're not going to be able to talk that together.
And people go, well, Donald Trump's a bad influence on. He probably is a little bit. But I have to say that there are some characteristics about him that made him get to the White House. And one of them is that he's got a lot of self-confidence, right? If you don't have self-confidence, and especially if you're male, you are in trouble, all right? So you better have self-confidence. He's got a strong personality, and he's got strong perseverance. These attributes, I think, that Rant Jamz actually, as the character Rant Jamz portrays on his show, has very good influence on children. I don't see why not. That's my opinion on it. But I mean, you guys have a different opinion. Like, what about the time that you said this or the other? We all say stupid things. Like, honestly, you guys
I always stick my foot in my mouth.
Eventually, Miss Kathy will say something ridiculous, and I'm not going to judge Miss Kathy for it. She could have stubbed her toe. Who knows, right? And we all go through ups and downs in life and things. But what matters is what we do when we have to get back up. Getting back up, and then doing the best with what you got to work with. Doing the best with what you got to work with. Those two things matter the most. How can you get back up, and how clever are you? Are you MacGyver in the situation? Let me tell you, Rant Jamz has basically been MacGyver. It's amazing that I'm still even on this platform right now.
You only take heat when you allow yourself or you put yourself in a position to get it. You've done that a lot. I mean, you bring it on yourself.
I'll take the blame. I'll take the blame for it. There's no doubt about it. But typically speaking, when there is compelling drama on YouTube, I'm in the middle of it somewhere. But I'm gonna make sure that it's more compelling and not. I'm gonna take the personal out as much as I possibly can, which means that I'm gonna aim higher for the bigger issues and not really go into whether if somebody's personally attacking, I'm not going to mess with that. I'm not going to, I don't have to name channels, but if somebody's expressing an idea that I feel is toxic, because that's the idea of being toxic. Okay, I know.
That's the word. The word you're using is toxic. Yeah. That's what I stand away from that. It's not interesting to me. I can't fix it. If I can't fix something or encourage something, then I have to move on. There's just no reason for me to even be around it.
I get it. And I listen to your critiques. And part of the reason why a lot of my best shows were good was because I rose to the occasion. I'm like, I have to show people like Miss Kathy that it's possible to put on an amazing show around this topic without it being personal and stupid. And I had done that a few times. It's just when the other issue, the first issue with the copyright strike and all that, I had that okay. By the time I got to right before Christmas, everybody knew it was a joke. It was hashtag Poop Wrench Group. Everything's good. Now, when this other issue came about, that's when it got nasty, because then it got personal. And that's the part where we got to avoid that. We got to avoid when shit gets personal. That's not what it's about. But we can joke about each other's content. I think that's fair game. And as long as it's not personal attacks, you got to realize that if you get big enough on YouTube, people are going to be joking about your content. You're going to have to get over it and not be a wimp. How are you going to get a million subscribers with all a million not saying anything nasty about your content, right? If they're not attacking your family, if they're attacking your family and doxing you, that's one thing. But they're going to have some trolls in your comment section that are going to be saying, this video isn't very good. What are you going to do about it? Well, you can make jokes about it. That's fine. But that's perfectly acceptable. You got to accept reality. The bigger you get, the more that there's going to be people talking about your content, which you want them to, first of all. And secondly,
I honestly personally don't know what I would do with a troll. I've never experienced one.
You'll get one because you're doing really well. You're going to get one. It's guaranteed. The better you get, because it's almost like there's a balance to it.
I can guarantee you, I will love them or I will not even acknowledge them.
It's all up to you. I think that's totally fair. And Patsy Julian says, stay in character. That's a really good advice. Stay in character. If they make you break your character, then you're in trouble. You definitely got to stay in character. There's one. You guys heard of back when Stephen Colbert was doing the Daily Show, or not Daily Show, but his show, right? He was playing a character on the Stephen Colbert Show. Have you ever heard of that?
No.
It's before, and if they got him to break character, he was in trouble. But as long as he stayed in character, he can more or less do whatever he wanted, and everybody got that it was a joke. But as soon as you break character as a comedian or a satirist, you're in trouble, because then people see, because when you break character, it's not that you're being real. It's just that you're more or less making people think that it's all serious and personal. And a lot of people are.
Well, for me, that's why I started coming over to my adult channel. I am a character on my reading channel because I'm a preschool teacher and I want to uphold my reputation. And when you are a character that has a good reputation, you really do need to stay in character. But that's why I wanted to become Miss Kathy, because people who don't know me don't know how real I truly am. But there's a difference between being a preschool teacher character and being who I am. And that's why I am on this channel. And that is why I wanted to do Real Talk, because I really am composed and I really am sensitive and I really do break and I really am broken. Because I want to be that. I can't be broken. I can't be perfect, bubbly Miss Kathy preschool teacher all the time.
That's somebody who somebody who recognizes and knows themselves. This is something that somebody says. If you know yourself, then you basically are good to go. If you know yourself, you're there. And because you have a good understanding of yourself, you have a compassion and understanding for others. And when Rant Jamz goes off the rails a bit, you might be like, you know what, I'm good for a while. I'll come back another time. But you don't necessarily have to take it personal, because you see that in yourself. You're like, you know what, sometimes I go off the rails. Sometimes stuff gets heated with me. And that's the thing, is accepting that,
But it's how you handle the heat is what's really going to matter when you come out of it. We do have our highs and we do have our lows, but we have to be able to show how we come out of our lows.
I'm definitely coming out. Like, I'm doing an event today at 5 p.m. It's a diss track contest. And the reason why I launched it, I got a lot of entries, by the way. It's great. I got like 9 or 10.
Tell me more about it.
Basically, I told everybody, I was like, look, you make these awesome, fun, satirical diss tracks about Rant Jamz. I'm going to review them, and we're going to have a panel, and we're going to judge them, and the winner gets a Rant Jamz hoodie of an original design.
Forgive me, but what is it?
What is a diss? Okay, so basically they're making videos. I tell people for fun, as joke and humor, to make videos about Rant Jamz, slamming him, bashing him, man, bashing him out of fun. And
so you want people to satire you?
Yeah, and everybody gets that it's a joke, and there's so many great bashings, so many channel bashings going on towards Rant Jamz. And I'm kind of showing everybody that, yes, you can do that in a satirical fashion, and it's okay. It's okay.
Well, it's okay when you ask for it.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know I'm always asking for it.
What did you call it? A diss? Diss or diss?
A diss track contest. And so I got that going on. After that's over.
So you already have this. This is coming on tonight?
Coming on tonight. After this is over, I'm basically turning the page. It's going to be a lot about the baby because the baby's happening soon. And I don't want to focus on dumb stuff on YouTube. When I say dumb stuff, I don't want to be at war necessarily with anybody when I want to focus on the baby or anything. And I don't want to be at war with anybody, really. I want it to be a good time. But we're going to be doing a lot of baby.
So this diss track, though, this must be a younger generation thing.
It's a younger generation thing. It's kind of like
is that why the question earlier was your influence on younger people came about, maybe?
Oh yeah. Okay. So for example, right? If Rant Jamz is coming out and saying, you know what, community, you guys can all make diss tracks on me, and we're going to laugh and joke about it, and we're going to have a contest. And matter of fact, there's going to be a winner. Basically, I'm showing a positive influence on young people because I'm telling them that you can have 10, 20 people do diss tracks on you, but you can be okay with it, and it could be okay. Like it doesn't have to be taken personal, and you guys can have a good time and be open and not have to worry about, So
you're showing a younger generation how to accept bullying?
No. Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm confused.
I'm showing them that it's okay to be open and joke and create content in a satirical way. It doesn't necessarily have to be bullying. That's not bullying. All right. Okay. So we're gonna get into.
Well, explain to me the purpose of you. Okay, I'm just going on assumption.
Go ahead. Ask a good question.
So you run this contest to say, "Hey, come out and diss me."
Yeah.
What is the purpose of that?
It's the show because a lot of people on YouTube have made claims about bashing and no drama and all of this.
Or bullying. That's how I read it. It's all a matter of perspective and a word.
Very obvious what bullying actually is. So if somebody makes a diss track on your content on YouTube, that's not bullying. It's not bullying. I'm going to explain to you why that's not bullying. All right. It's not bullying because they're talking about your content on your channel because this is entertainment. This isn't Facebook, right?
Do you this says Miss Kathy, have you ever seen a roast? Yes.
A roast. Yes, a roast. That might be better.
Bullying with permission. There you go, Lost Girl.
Bullying with permission, but even without permission, Rant Jamz fully embraces as many people to do diss tracks on them as you can. You know why, Miss Kathy, I say that?
Yeah, but
it helps my channel grow because it's entertainment. It's
right. No, I get that. I get that. I understand that. I think it's just a matter of perspective. It's important to show any adult or any young generation how to appreciate social media. That's how you're going to be on social media. You need to be tough-skinned.
You need to be tough-skinned, and you want people talking about you. So a bullying, in my opinion, in this day and age, is like the doxing thing where people show your address, they show up at your house, and they do that kind of stuff. Or somebody attacking you personally, removing the comments, or somebody trolling you, relentlessly threatening your family, that kind of stuff. Somebody making a video about your content is not bullying. All right, not on YouTube. That's not how it works.
Right.
And a lot of people disagree with me on this, but I can explain it even further if I need to.
There's the troll from the baby show.
Yeah, she was telling me something. But I want to let you know that as a YouTuber, let's say you've got 50 subscribers, right? Would you be offended if you got 100 people make diss track on your channel?
I Probably if I cared to watch them.
More than likely, what would happen is more people would learn about your channel. More people would go to your channel. More people.
I don't think that I would like if my channel was promoted due to negativity, though. Personally,
well, what happened? Okay, so it depends on. Okay, so they're not attacking you personally, right? But they're saying, but they might be like in the diss track saying,
she says, "How about if they send us watching
your videos are bracket, you ain't any good, and all this." And then a lot of people are going to see this video, the diss track, and go, "Wow, I really want to see if this is legit." And then they go to your video, and then they actually go to your video and evaluate whether your video is whack or not, whether your video is bad or not.
Yeah.
Before the diss tracks that you had 50 subscribers, nobody was going to your video. Nobody was watching. You had like 0 views. So
yeah, I understand that. But if 50 people came to my channel because of bashing, they wouldn't stay very long.
Well, I can go ahead and disprove that. I did a video called PC Master Race Hate Song. And it was aimed at making fun of PC Master Race joke, right? And I went after him. I spammed my link. I had like 300 or 400 people come in there downvoting, but out of those 300 or 400 people, there are still 15 to 30 people on there that are active on my channel today. That love my
so
channel.
they came to your channel
because
they heard about you, but they stayed because of what you do.
Exactly. And that's how you do it. That's how you turn hate into love is people come in to hate and then they see for themselves what you do and they go, wow, this is actually pretty entertaining. And you rather them draw attention to your channel.
Can I interrupt real quick?
This is what Donald Trump did. We'll talk about
that. Can I interrupt real quick? Because I just saw Laws Girl says, Sarah O'Connor is a troll in chat. Crashed my baby shower stream last night calling my baby Rosemary's baby. Is this someone in my chat right now?
Yeah, we have theories on who this actually is. We don't have to get into that. But yeah,
I don't see them in my chat, though. I don't.
They might have left the chat. I'm looking up the chat. I don't see them anymore.
She's up there.
But yeah, anyway, I wouldn't worry about that too much. We got to do what you said. We got to ignore the troll thing.
Yeah, the good thing about if someone like me, I don't read my chat. So I try to if you tag me. So I want to know if you're addressing me, but if you're just in my chat, it doesn't bother me what you say or do because it doesn't pertain to me. So if it pertains to me, you need to tag me.
Yeah, I mean,
that's how I moderate my chat. I just don't moderate it.
Yeah, just you don't have to moderate. Like as long as I honestly don't mind if people troll my channel. Like right now, like I'm in a.
I don't think I would even notice a troll if it came at me.
Exactly. People like to say there was channels out there for a while that were saying, "Rant Jamz, you're taking over my live stream. Rant Jamz, you're taking over my live stream." And these channels had like 60+ people in their live stream. Well, how the hell does Rant Jamz take over a live stream when there's 60 people supposedly in your stream? Like, how does that work? What actually the truth of the matter is they might have had supposedly 60 people in their live stream, but nobody was watching the stream. So instead, they were interacting in the live chat. And you got to notice this as a YouTuber that nobody can take over your stream if they're actually watching it. All right, it's not going to happen. So anybody who makes that claim,
I think they can take over your stream if they like get into your IP address and they do stuff.
There you go. That's how they do it. Exactly.
I do have a tag, the A326. Can you tell me a different way to interact with you? That letter and number system, it confuses me. Not that I'm trying to be mean. I just would really like to interact with you better without a lettering system.
You can call him Mr.
Says, how does Rant Jamz feel that he and other community members might have a negative influence on young people? And then Miss Kathy viewed this as your first in chat troll. See, it's bound to happen. Olive Donna says it was pure evil. I don't know what you were saying was evil. Oh, hang on. She tagged me. I'm going up. This family has been threatened to not only be doxxed, but to be raped and killed. Even my innocent grandbaby who has not been born yet has been threatened. I'm sorry, Donna. Don't let them threaten you. They're only going to threaten you if you let them. Honestly, I really, truly believe that. We can talk about that on. I'd love to have your mother on as a real talk.
Oh,
Donna, private message me on Twitter. I would love to have you come on so we can talk about that in another Real
I
talk.
would make that the topic of the stream when that happens, because that way everybody knows what they're getting into. So they go into
Yeah, let's get that scheduled so that it doesn't interfere with Scott's real talk, and then we'll do you on a different time. Okay, let's go back to this. How does Rant Jamz feel that he and other community members might have a negative influence on young people? You want to respond to that?
Oh boy. Well, anytime that you're in public, or actually anybody might have a negative influence on anybody. Like, that's a ridiculous. You go drinking a soda in front of your kid, Miss Kathy, you might be having a negative influence. You just might be negative. You go splurge a little. You go to McDonald's. You might be having a negative influence on your family. What do you think about that? Like, that's not a very good question. You got to get more specific.
Yeah, I can answer it to me. I'll put my name in it. How does Miss Kathy feel that she or other community members might have a negative influence on young people? For me personally, I fear the Lord. So I try very hard to strive my life to give God glory, so that if I felt I was being a negative influence on young people, I would want to address those people and have them come to me so that I could have a personal conversation with them.
That's a good answer. I actually agree with that. I think that if anybody has a real issue with me, I've actually given Mr. Enigma hours and hours and hours of my time already. So that's not going nowhere. But anybody who has an issue with me, wants to talk it out in private, I will do it. And even in public, and if I've offended or you think I've said something that's a negative influence, I will talk to you about it. I might disagree with you. I think that if I'm talking about religion on my stream, I think that's a positive influence. Even if you disagree that, well, religion needs to stay out of live streams, man. I disagree with that. I think that your kids being open to talk about philosophy, psychology, and religion is good. It's good. So if you disagree with me there, then that's just a matter of opinion. But I think that more people need to read their Bible than to just believe in it and never open it.
Amen. I totally agree with that. Diamond Rick in Miami says, Miss Kathy, it's to you. Look, I had trolls wanted to kill me and rape my sons. Oh, honey, you know what? I couldn't even imagine that. I think that's probably a very immature person that's trying to get under your skin. Viewed this as that Rant Jamz getting an echo off you, bro. Do you have your volume on your side? Just a heads up.
I turned the volume down on my side a little bit. It should help a little bit.
Okay. It stopped. I don't know what stopped Viewed this. Amelia Goffey says, amen. Faith says yes. In awe of Donna's show. The fish sandwich show that is so funny. I am his mom, and trust me, no, he isn't. I don't know what she was referring to. Do you?
Yeah, and
I'm sorry. I am always so far behind on conversations or anything that's going on. I really am a very clueless person when it comes to stuff like that.
Oh yeah, and it's easy to get behind is what I was going to say. It's easy to get behind live chat, and people make jokes about me and go, Rant Jamz, you never read the live chat. That's because I get into what I'm doing, we're talking, and then we have to go back to it.
Yeah.
Because
that's why I said at the very beginning, you have to mingle with each other. And we're all adults. I mean, actually, we're not all adults. So many times there's probably most channels that don't have a picture of someone, or even if they do, you don't even know who you're talking to a lot of the times.
Oh, man. And that's definitely the case. And I encourage anybody in the live chat that if you have additional questions, to send me an instant message on Twitter as well, and I will answer them as well. And if Miss Kathy has my mother on another time, to definitely be ready for that live stream. So definitely hit the bell on Miss Kathy and be ready, because my mother's going to get into stuff that Rant Jamz just ain't feeling right now. Miss Kathy's not feeling at the moment, but she's going to do a special live stream on that. And she's not afraid to talk. This is real talk. She's not afraid to talk about these things in due time. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, no, I know I'm totally not afraid to it. I welcome positive dialogue, but the negativity, I'm experienced at just ignoring it and avoiding it. And I don't care about talking about it, but I'll always figure out a positive way to put a spin on it. Loves Girl wants to know, why is your baby a miracle baby?
Oh man, there's so many reasons for that. There are a lot of things that people don't know about the situation. And in my family, both on my mom's side and in my dad's side, I was the last in line, more or less. Like My mom had 3 kids. None of them had their own children, biological children. On my dad's side, they're basically all extinct, like the dinosaurs. So that's one aspect of it. On my dad's side of the family, we have a thing where we're more or less have like infertility going on, where a lot of them are infertile most of the time.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And my dad wasn't fertile until he was around the same age that I am, actually. So I actually had been to the hospital and had been tested, and they said that I was fertile, but barely. Like the much lower chance of me having a baby than other people. So the fact that this all happened the way it did and the right timing and everything is an absolute miracle, and should be treated as such. I think every baby is a miracle. And we could talk about babies. This might be more fun. They get to get rid of the negativity. I want to talk a little bit about babies. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay,
I haven't really seen any negativity yet. I've enjoyed this conversation.
All right, good. All right, so I had a stream the other day when I was talking about praying with your eyes open. And,
I was on there.
Yeah, you were on there, and I got a little controversial because I try to reel in as many people from as many different faiths as possible to have this discussion, and that's what Jesus would do. Actually, that's what he did, straight up. So that's what he did. I
pray with my eyes open. When the title brought me into the stream because I was like, "Oh, I do that. I pray with my eyes open."
And this born again, the born again experience that they talk about in the New Testament is not a myth. It's a genuine thing. And,
Mystery Enigma, I did see your comment, by the way, and find me on Twitter and let's get you on here, and I would love to interact with you as well.
Oh, definitely. So anyway, when it comes to babies,
hi, Sarah. Okay, go back, babies.
All right. So when it comes to babies, I feel very strongly, and I have logic for this, and there's rationale for this, but I feel that babies know a lot more than what people think. And I know it from a child psychology perspective, also from the experience that I had, which was definitely very genuine, and everything that I've looked at. I feel that babies might actually more than likely be more enlightened than most adults because they understand what's really there. A baby takes in more of the real world than an adult does. From a psychological perspective, they're actually seeing things for what it is. Whereas adults have so many filters.
Sure.
By the time you become an adult, you're filtering everything, and your brain is kind of projecting out all the spaces in between and making shortcuts. Whereas babies, they're taking it all in for real. All right. So babies actually see the world for what it is, and part of the born again experience.
That's why Jesus says you have to be like a child to enter into heaven.
Yes, there's a reason why Jesus talks about this. Is a reason why these are like clues to this. He tells clues about this stuff. But I feel very strongly that a baby has an understanding of all that exists, and as they are raised, they learn how to cope with the role that they're playing in this earth. There's no doubt about it in my mind that that's the case. Yeah. And like I said in my other stream,
it's influential.
Why does a child play? Because they're learning how to take on different roles. They learn how to be mommy. They learn how to be daddy. They learn how to be teachers. They learn how to da-da. But
that's why compassion is a taught trait.
Right. They know that they're acting. They know they're playing. But a lot of adults forget that they're playing. A lot of adults just think, I am, and this is really me, man. But a child might be more enlightened than you in this area. So I invite anybody who disagreed with my last stream about this to go find a child and ask that child, and whether they have autism or not. Ask, if you can talk to them about this. I guarantee you that they went through a play phase as a young person, at least. And they are actually very much aware that they're playing a role. There's no doubt about it. That's a human thing. That's not an autism thing. That's a human thing.
Yeah.
It's like you're right as a human being. This born again experience, I'm talking about this revelation of what's real and what's not real. That's your human right, and that's not dictated by what condition you have. And that might sound like an opinion, and it might come off, and you guys can take it as an opinion, but it really isn't. It really isn't. I can go into that. But
Well,
it's
sort of it just hearing you talk kind of just brings Calvinism to light to me. Are you a Calvinist?
That's an interesting topic. Am I a Calvinist? I could talk about Calvinism. I might have to revisit Calvinism. I know that I don't know if the.
Do you believe in predestination? I mean, God has a
predestination. Okay, so this is where things get a little tricky. It's like, okay, do you have a free will? Is God shining his blessings upon you based off your predestination? The Calvinism has a lot of loaded stuff going on in it, and getting into all of that could get really intense. But I will say for certain that that it's very, very the case that everything that's around you is intricately connected to you. In other words, God and the universe, or whatever you believe, is not separate from you 100%, which means that where does your body end and the outside world begin? Most people go, well, this is my hand and this is my laptop and this is not me. But the reality of it is we're breathing each other's air. At what point when you take a breath, is it yours and not hers? Right? At what point? And this gets really, really intense and really, really involved.
Oh, that could be a whole other real talk. It really could.
Oh, it gets really involved because what you're looking at, actually what you're seeing out of your eyes is your brain's interpretation of what's there. It's not actually what's really there. That's why I told you babies can actually see better than you can. You're actually seeing your brain's interpretation of what's there. It's actually an inward projection meeting the reality. So in other words, what you're looking at is basically you. You're almost looking in a mirror all the time because you're looking at a projection of yourself most of the time. And it's like you're in a mirror maze. And that's why people forget that they're acting and playing, because they've been in that mirror maze for so long, right? That they need a born again experience to get out of it. That's the best way to put it. I'm trying to put it the right way, but I mean that's the best way to. They need a chance to see the light for a second in order to remember that they're in a mirror maze.
Well said. Yeah, I agree with you. Sometimes you can talk yourself to a wall, though. If they really aren't seeking, they will never, ever understand it. So what I always say is we're not the ones that are supposed to help them understand.
Right.
We're just supposed to be the deliverer of the message.
Yeah, and that's where I sometimes cross the line. Sometimes I get really involved, and I'm like, man, it'd be easy if people could just really understand, certain things and why, but it's not necessarily my role to spoil everybody's life, to give them all of the, when I say spoil, I mean spoilers. Like, when you go into a movie, right? And somebody gives you all the spoilers before the movie and it ruins the movie, right? It's not my role necessarily to give everybody spoilers. So I'm balancing that with what needs to happen, which is reducing anxiety when it needs to be reduced, bringing things to light when it's obviously becoming too much of a burden. And you basically, honestly, I have to say that in your life, you have a cheat code where you can overcome anything, right? And that cheat code is God, right? Everybody knows that, right? It's a trump card. It trumps everything. And
not everybody knows that.
Not everybody knows that. And even some people who are Christian or Jewish or come from even Islamic faith.
Or say they are.
Or even a Hindu. There are people that are Hindus that have come to find this via meditation. Like
there are people that say they are Christians and are not Christians, though.
Yeah, but there are people who yeah, exactly. And the difference between what you would call a fake Christian and a regular Christian, I say fake, I mean a Christian who says they buy into the dogma, it has to do with their practice. It has to do with what they're actually doing, because what you believe and what you do are actually the same thing. What you believe and what you say may not be. That's the trick. So if you got to look at people, them through their works. And people go, Rant Jamz. You've been all negative and all of this. But if you look behind what I'm doing, right? And if you look behind and you look at what I'm actually trying to accomplish on here, you start to see that I'm more than just what I say.
But you hit the nail on the head when you said
what I'm trying to do. And then you get it. It's like I actually am empowering a great number of people. The people who hate me the most, I've helped the most. So they passionately hate me, but they are passionately imitating me.
But you did spend too much time, in my opinion, you spent too much time trying to make the ones who would never hear it listen.
Yeah, I think that I've
You wasted your time for a while. And that's why I called you out on that. And
you're right. I've stretched that out pretty far. And there's no doubt about it that I don't have the strategic resources. I don't have, 80 hours a week to really pound it, right, on YouTube. So I have to be a little more
you're way too creative. You wasted your creativity, in my opinion.
In a lot of areas. There's definitely the case that I've wasted a lot of energy on different things. But, like I said, we'd have to go from item to item. Do I feel like the hashtag Poop Wrench Group Christmas thing was good? Yes, that was absolutely fantastic. Do I think Drama Storm was an amazing stream? Yes, I do. Do I think that an 8-hour discourse of between people and my mother about who's been attacking who personally, I don't think that was good. Right? I think that was a waste of energy. I could have put my 8 hours doing something else.
Well,
and I'm right there with you.
In a way, I don't necessarily think that you wasted your energy on that. I think it was a passion that you felt you had to address. I just wanted you to know that I wasn't going to waste my energy listening to it.
Right. And that's perfectly fine because you know what? I mean, that's what you're supposed to do as a YouTuber.
Yes.
And a lot of people have this mentality of, you're subscribed, you stay subscribed. You're subscribed, so you're 100% loyal. Well, the thing about it is whoever you're watching has to earn it. And they need to earn it day in and day out. And when Rant Jamz ain't earning it, don't watch him. When he is earning it, watch him.
It is no secret for me. I've always said there's only a handful I can support. So if I'm going to support someone else, I'm going to have to unsupport someone.
That is smart. It's very smart because it means that you're a genuine. It means that you're basically a genuine YouTuber and you're a genuine supporter. And like I said, Rant Jamz went through some stuff. I've definitely.
It's the same way with friends. I tell younger people, well, he unfriended me. You know how many kids I have come and say, well, he unfriended me. And I always tell them, friends come in seasons and they come for reasons. And you have to embrace the time they were there.
Yes, seasons. Yes, exactly. So you're very, very. See, like that's how I know that. Like I said, that you're very in touch with that. This understanding that there's a timing. When all this drama crap hit, it was drama season. You're talking like Halloween, Thanksgiving, changing into winter. Now we're out of winter. I need to be off that horse. This is not the season to start shit with people. All right. It really isn't.
Yeah. And so I want to address the chat. He says, I don't understand why Rant Jamz used Christmas as a platform for the bashing and drama. I don't know if Rant Jamz needs to know that you didn't understand it. He did it for, that's why I said, I think it was beneficial for you. It just wasn't beneficial for me, and that's okay.
Yes, and that's perfectly understandable. And like I said, when I launched that promotion, it wasn't a bashing promotion. It only got in that direction. It was comedy satire. It was very lighthearted.
Right, which goes back to the whole reason you're doing your contest tonight. You're trying to show whoever did get their butt hurt over that, you're going to show them how you're not going to get your butt hurt over it. I mean, I get it. I get why you're doing it.
I'm being a good example. I'm actually being a very good example because if anybody has a plan to really be more influential or be a really big channel on YouTube, bigger than Rant Jamz times 10, they're going to have to learn how to deal with that eventually. And sometimes it's not just about looking the other way, but it's about embracing the traffic that you're getting and doing what you can to make things that are bad for you, make them good for you. Donald Trump, all right? Well, you guys may not like Donald Trump. How did he become president? Did he become president by bashing? Well, it looks like that. But really what happened is every time somebody attacked him, he embraced it and he made it work for him. He ascended that way. And people go, well, that was nasty and everything and all that. But the reality of it is that you have to take, and you have that like all publicity is good publicity. I'm not necessarily saying that, but you have to take a bad situation and turn it into a good situation. And if you're able to do that, and Rant Jamz is still working on it, but if you're able to do that, nothing can stop you on this platform. If somebody can attack you and you can make it turn it into a positive, you're there. And to send past this small YouTuber phase, that's what you got to do. You got to learn how to turn the negatives into positive, not just turn away and look the other direction, but deal with them in a way that benefits you. Use that momentum to benefit you.
Yeah, well, but there's also no, I mean, for me, there's also no reason to tell someone that you've been hurt. I mean, but you have to, I mean, once you say that, it's okay to not be okay, but it's not okay to stay that way. I always say that all the time, and I still hold it to true. You know, it's okay to say, hey, wow, ooh, that hurt. Okay, well, you got to be the one to move past it. You can keep talking about it, and you can keep bringing it up, and you can keep, you know, whining about it. Or
I
already
told you what really hurt me. What really hurt me about the situation was not was that there was a lot of people that I knew that legitimately didn't care about content whatsoever, period, any channel. And that after all of that time that I put into what I was doing and what I was passionate about, I was very surprised by that particular, but I'm over that now because I feel like I'm the kind of guy that I can show everybody through hard work. I can show everybody what it takes to make content that's worth talking about. And I think I have done that. And like I said, I'm over talking about people. If I talk about a channel, it means I like them. It's not because I don't like them. And even throughout all of that, things only hurt your feelings when it comes to another channel if you legitimately care. Like, for example, let's say I didn't care about Pusa Studios, right? I wouldn't have had a problem. I would have never went that far. I respected and loved their channel. That's why I had a problem. Same thing with these other channels, okay? It's not because I hated them or I didn't care and didn't watch. It's because I did and respect them. And that's what made it hurtful, right? It wouldn't have been hurtful whatsoever had I didn't respect them and didn't love them. And that's how it works. You can't be hurt if you don't love, right?
Usually if it's personally with me, it's usually because I'm jealous. And that's it's a natural human emotion for me anyway. And I think it is for a lot of people, is why we defend ourselves, why we feel we need to defend. And it's usually due to our own personal shame or our own personal way to want to blame something.
Right. And I'm not putting the blame on, I'm basically what I just said was not me putting the blame on somebody else. It was saying that
Sarah or Connor, I'm just going to ask you to try to be polite. You know, I don't know how old you are or not, but I don't really think it's cool to call anyone stupid.
Rant Jamz is not my name, by the way.
What?
He's got RABT Jamz, Rant Jamz.
Oh, well, that might have been a typo.
But anyway, like I said,
try to be polite, please.
You can't be hurt if you don't care. So let's say I'm gonna use a different example instead of it being more. How about this? Let's say that you are a big fan of the Green Bay Packers, right? You're a big fan. When the Packers lose the game, that might cause you to get upset, right? Right? The Packers lose the big game. You're going to be really upset. But let's say you didn't care about who won the game or not. Well, then you're not even watching and you don't care, right?
Well,
so more or less is what I'm saying is you can't be hurt if you're not if you don't care about some attribute of the situation. If you don't care about, and you're not gonna go that far unless it is something that's deeply important about what it is that you're doing. So I have to say that all of these channels that I've had a problem with, I actually care about them, and I honored, and I definitely had a high respect for them. Now I care a little bit less. So I'm not going to be bashing or messing with them because I care a little bit less about their channels than I did before. There you go. Just like Miss Kathy. Like if I go in a direction she don't like, she can care a little bit less, and she doesn't have to be as personally involved. That's just how it works. Yeah. Obviously, A326298816 really cares about my channel as much as this person, and so does Sarah O'Connor, because they care so much that they have to be up in my business. and they're so offended, that means they passionately care and I've offended them because they love my channel so much. And I thank you so much for that. That's true.
Yeah.
It's 100% the case.
Well, I mean, to me, it sounds like they both, I don't know either one of them, but if you are both listening in the chat, I've not kept up with your own conversation, even if you did have one earlier. But what I am looking at now is that you two are not agreeing about something. So I'm just going to ask you to have the conversation elsewhere so that it doesn't have to be on my live chat.
Yes. There's a time and place for everything. And I try to, there's a lot of areas that I don't want to go into in this stream that I feel like we can take on by itself. Like I got into bullying a little bit, but I feel like that needs to be a separate thing. But how I define bullying and how other people define bullying is different. I think that and you're an entertainer, let's say you're Robin Williams, somebody who's alive. If you're an actor and you make a movie and somebody gives you bad reviews, are they bullying you?
Well, bullying can only be defined by the person that it's towards.
So theoretically speaking, Jim Carrey could make a movie, and then somebody on Rotten Tomatoes says, I don't like the movie, and Jim Carrey goes, he's bullying me because he said he didn't like the movie. Oh, and Jim Carrey, he interprets it that way.
Yeah, I'm actually discussing bullying with Jess K. She's still in the chat. We're going to be discussing bullying topic on March
for next time. So that's something that's food for thought.
March 5th. Yeah. I'm looking forward to addressing that. My son was bullied, and so that's a whole nother topic that will be discussed. I think, Jess K., if you want to put that date, I can't remember. I have 2 streams coming up the week of March 5th, but I believe it's Tuesday evening that we're going to be discussing bullying. So if you guys want to come back for that one, that should be an interesting topic.
I think that's a very good conversation. I think it needs to be talked about because I feel like there is real bullying going on.
Yeah.
But when people interpret everything as bullying, then that's a problem. It's kind of like with racism. I know I'm getting all this stuff. When everybody says everything,
I'm telling you, there's a gamut of topics. That's why I made that my banner.
Like for instance, let's just say, Miss Kathy, you're being racist right now. Why? Because you're wearing a black shirt, and that offends me, and it's racist somehow. Well, you can say that about bullying or anything else. You could basically blame anything on any issue you want to. So I go, that the plant back there is racist because it's green and I'm a Caucasian and I'm not a green guy. You know, I could just be ridiculous. And I think the same thing goes on with all these topics, like bullying. I think that some people go, well, my teacher gave me a B-. She's bullying me. No, she's not bullying you. She's trying to help you. She's giving you feedback. Not all feedback is bullying. All right. People need to get that. Not all,
and that's why it's good to, and that's why it's always good to go to the source and let them know. Now, you are going, if what I tell kids or what I tell, I can tell this Sarah and this other person in the chat, I'm here to hear Rant Jamz. Okay. But I tell my kids, when my boy was being bullied, I didn't say he wasn't being bullied. I said, your feelings are being challenged. So you have to decide if you're going to receive them or not. I tell that to everyone.
Put them at the
center. They don't know if they're being bullied. You have to let them know. Now, they might say, no, I'm not bullying you. And then you have to be the one that says, okay, I addressed it. I told them how I felt. They're either going to change or they're not. But then you've got to move on. You have to move on.
In my case, when I was doing what I was doing, these other people didn't say anything. So I didn't get any feedback whatsoever. So if I was going to judge it by that, then I would go, well, I guess Rant Jamz ain't bullying because they're not even willing to address me in private, public, etc. whatsoever. And I was doing satire that was comedy. And then bam, I'm hit with a copyright strike and they're all out trying to take my channel down out of nowhere. So it's not like they said, Rant Jamz, please stop. You're hurting my feelings. No, it was straight to bam. And it's almost like if I came over to you.
Yeah, that was very unfortunate that happened to you.
I don't like your, like I said, I don't like your shirt. And then you respond by sending the mafia into my house to beat up me and Megan or something, right? That's not an equal thing, right? It's like me not liking your shirt does not constitute absolutely ridiculous means. You see what I'm saying? And it was very surprising to me that I got such a harsh reaction from such a little thing. at that given time. Now,
yeah, I agree. I
that,
agree that you getting your channel, anyone in any situation in YouTube, someone could take over my channel right now and I could be locked up for 90 days. It's how I'm going to respond to that. I cannot let that affect my world. I can't.
In my case,
or I can't.
Part of my, I was making some money off of it. I wasn't, and that was going towards my family. Like, it was like helping support my livelihood.
Yeah.
So somebody who basically, now that we can get into this or whatever, somebody who has more financial means than I do, come in and they do that with no consideration whatsoever that maybe those donations and all of that actually help me and my family survive a little bit. I mean, it sounds crazy. Well, $500 a month or $600 a month may not seem like a lot to you guys, a lot of you guys in the live chat, but somebody who's never made more than $12,000 a year, that's a lot of money. Right?
You're making $500 a month?
At one point, I was making $500 or $600 a month. I think
wow, that's fantastic.
But, I was doing pretty well, but somebody who's never made more than $12,000 a year at any given time, like I said, I'm a college graduate. I'm educated. I'm highly skilled, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah. Well, for me, I mean, the financial thing, you can't just a financial thing. You could look at my house right now. I tell my kids all the time. I have 4 kids, and we're a 1-income family, and we live in a high-income neighborhood.
Yes.
My kids used to come home from school all the time, and they would ask me, I want a pair of Converse tennis shoes. I'm like, sorry, can't afford it. All my friends have it. And I'm like, well, most of your friends have 1 child in their neighborhood and both their parents work. Sorry, we have 4 children and your dad's the only one that works around here.
Right, exactly.
But they see our house and they say we're rich. And I'm like,
you're not rich. So I can talk about money, and the thing is, like, even though I told you that, like, I never really had a really great income, I've always had it really well because I know how to spend the money I get. I'm very, very good.
Yeah, that's a whole nother topic. I mean, budgeting.
If you live beyond your means, so like another thing too is like somebody miscalculates and goes, well, so and so makes X dollars a year, so they should be fine. But as you said, your expenses go up.
It's like when the government shut down.
All that extra money that you're making is going into paying for like taxes. Especially when you go up tax brackets and stuff. So by the end of the day, my standard of living, your standard of living really ain't that much different because it all balances out.
Yeah, it's I'll give you an example. When the government shut down, a lot of people, that work for government, it's all a matter. They should be prepared for that. Like my son, who is in the military and active, he was trained to learn that there will be shutdowns. So he has to budget and prepare for when they shut down.
Yeah, that's insane. That shouldn't happen like that. The military folks don't get paid.
But my son is prepared for when that happens.
Yeah.
And for those who aren't prepared, then that's their own fault. I mean, you have to know when it's going to happen. You can't. I always say that's a whole nother topic. You can't live check to check. You have to learn how to budget. You have to learn how to save for times when there will not be money coming in,
And by God, people look at what I've got and say, well, you work at Walmart and all this. Well, I know how to take care of my family with what I've got at the time. And I'm really good at that. And it has a lot to do with what's up here. Wealth is not how much money you make. Wealth has more to do with what's going inside yourself.
It really, truly is. And you can't hold on. We can't take everything to heaven with this. That's why I always tell my kid, I'm like, don't hold on to materialistic things because it could all be gone tomorrow.
So I've got about 15 minutes to go or so.
We have gone so much longer than I thought we have, and I've really enjoyed the conversation.
Oh, it's been fun. And honestly, if you ever have a topical stream,
yes.
I will stay on topic, believe it or not. If you ever have a topical stream where you have multiple guests and you just want me to only address certain topics in a discussion base, I will be less like, I don't want to say bullying. I'll be less like loud and obnoxious, and I will definitely be respectful and just kind of talk.
Yeah, and I have to say that I really appreciate the fact that you were willing to do this without a topic because we weren't really able to converse before this. I was out of town since Thursday night, and my next topic is emotional eating, and it's this Wednesday. and it's with Happy Trails Hiking. Her name is Kay, and I actually have a meetup that I made with her last week, and we've just discussed that we will be doing that topic. So if you are in the chat or if you're watching the replay and you are interested in discussing emotional eating, that is going to be Wednesday's topic. So I will be promoting that out on my Twitter. But Rant Jamz, I'm so happy that we were able to talk today and do some real talk. We actually did real talk. It just wasn't on one topic. We covered a gamut of them.
Oh yeah. And I just want to let everybody know that I don't have enough time to start nonsense with other channels, and I don't want to. I think I've already made the points I've got at this point. I will be hitting higher topics. I will be getting controversial, but it'll be at the ideas level. If you can't handle philosophy, if you can't handle religion, psychology, if you don't like music, or you don't like comedy at all, you probably shouldn't be subscribed to me to begin with. But I'm not going to go after dumb stuff. If somebody attacks me personally or whatever, I'll deal with it in a different kind of way. I've learned how to deal with it in a better kind of way. And honestly, going through trials and learning, that's a good example for children, right? Because children face adversity and they got to learn just like we do. And so honestly, things are going to get okay. Things are changing on this platform and everything else. There's a lot going on. And I really feel really good about this show. I was excited from the moment that she introduced Real Talk. I thought this was a very good idea. Megan was thinking about doing something like this on her channel before as well. And I think it's a very good idea for more people to really discuss stuff and not just run. Because Miss Kathy's not just running away. She's not just going like this. She's actually taking the time to discuss this stuff. And this is what makes us smarter. This is what helps us grow. The other version where you just not willing to discuss it, not willing to bring it out, and not in a hateful manner, but in an intelligent manner. If you're not willing to actually address the problems, then you're always going to be in the same boat all the time.
Yeah. There really are hard topics to get and talk about, and there can be negative. They can have a negative touch to them, but I promise you there is a way to do it in a positive dialogue, and I welcome it. So Megan, hit me up because I'm waiting for hers. We're going to talk about labor stories with Megan because I can't wait to hear all about her labor.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me on here. I really appreciate it. I'm going to see you guys. Some of you guys, if you want to check out, if it's not for you, if you want really crazy satire about joking about, have a disc contest thing, you guys want to check that out this Monday, right now, or not right now, but about 5 p.m. today, that's fine. But next week, I'm not going to be doing, that's all behind me, 100%. It's going to be 100% going in a whole nother direction. So you guys don't have to worry about all the smoke's going to be completely clear by after this stream. So I'm going to go ahead and take care of it.
And Scott, when you get the link for your show tonight that you were talking about, will you send it to me?
Tonight's going to be about people-friendly roasting.
Right. Send it to me and I will put it.
A good time. It's all going to be about me going after me. So it isn't going to be a whole lot of me attacking other people.
But what I want to do is I want to either put it in the comment section of this stream or in my description. So if anyone watches this replay, then we can direct them to the description for the link of your show tonight too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just to kind of show people that we can take negativity and turn it into positivity. It can be done, and that's what we're going to have to do to change the world. Honestly, you're going to have. It's like the old alchemy myth, turning lead into gold. Yeah. That's what you got to do. Turning water into wine, all that stuff. That's exactly what you got to do. It takes a miracle, but you know what? We're all walking miracles. There's no doubt about it. And we are definitely capable of doing it.
Yeah. No doubt about it. This was so much fun. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for everyone in the chat. Thank you for being civil. And I'm really happy that Sarah and I'm going to say it this time, Mr. Enigma, thank you for respecting me and what we were talking about earlier. I appreciate it. Okay, everyone, this is it. This is a wrap. This is Real Talk. Please come back. Again, I'm looking forward to anyone who is interested. I did leave my Twitter link in the description box, so you can hit me up there and we can set this up to talk again. Donna, don't forget, I want to talk about you soon. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Scott. Take care.